As a kid, I went to church every Sunday. I was part of the Sunday school, the youth group. I went up in front of the church. I got saved. I was baptized. And I continued until I graduated from high school. At that time, I just kind of lost interest in a lot of the things of the church and the things of God. I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to live my life to have fun. Ended up joining the Army. This was during the time of Vietnam. At 19 years old, I was a helicopter pilot flying combat missions in Vietnam every day. And I still wanted to have fun, but it's hard to have fun when people are shooting at you. And as a 19-year-old, you don't think a lot about life and death. But when people are shooting at you and bullets are coming through your helicopter and you're carrying wounded and dead people, you really start thinking about life and what's important. If you were to look at me then, you would not think I was a Christian. The language I used, the way I lived, I was not a very nice fellow. If the things I learned in church, I just pretty much walked away from. But I had 3 or 4 extremely close calls. Bullets through the windshield, bullets through my pant leg, and one bullet went through the actual turbine engine on the helicopter. And the maintenance man took a look at that. I managed to land it safely. I lost power, but I managed to land it safely. And the maintenance man looked at it and said, he looked at that thing, looked me right in the eye and says, "Man, you should be dead." He says, "There's no way a bullet can go through a helicopter engine and that engine not explode." And right then, along with some of those other near misses, I just realized that something somewhere was watching out for me. And I wanted to know what that was. So when I returned from Vietnam, it was the hippie time, drugs and rock concerts and rock festivals, and a lot of people were kind of looking for a meaning in life. Even though I was still in the Army, I kind of joined that group, and I was seeking. I wanted to know the truth. The things I taught when I was growing up, I saw were not really true, and I really wanted to know the truth. I wanted to know why I was here, if there was a reason, was it all an accident, or what? I did a lot of LSD and psychedelics. I did a lot of marijuana. I did a lot of partying. If people were to look at me, they would think I was happy, but I realized that deep inside of me there was an emptiness, and I didn't know how to fill it. And after a couple years of looking into some of the Eastern religions and some of what we'd call New Age stuff now, I still felt that emptiness. I didn't find a truth or a meaning in life. And I remember one day I got down on my knees before I went to bed, and I prayed, and I said, "God, if there is a God, show me what to do with my life. If you show me what to do, I promised I would do it. I promised I would do it." And at that time, I kind of believed in a God, but I did not believe or know about a God who could actually have a personal relationship with me, who actually cared for me. I didn't know if it was Jesus or Krishna or Buddha or any of these things. But in desperation, I prayed that prayer. And a couple weeks later, I met a couple of young men my age. I was about 21, 22 then, and they had a Bible, and they were trying to show me stuff out of the Bible. And I said, no, I went to church. And they said, "We're not talking about church, we're talking about the truth." And I said, okay, let me think about that. So they showed me some verses in the Bible. They answered a lot of the questions I had, and then they challenged me to turn my life around and to give my life to Jesus Christ. And I wasn't sure. I went and visited the place where they lived. They actually lived in this community way out in the middle of the country. And I just saw the example of these young people. They told me where they'd been addicted to drugs or doing this or that, and how they'd come off of it, and Jesus had changed their lives. I was so, it was the real thing. I just saw it was real. And I decided that day that I was going to give my life to Jesus. They said that Jesus said to follow me and I'll make you fishers of men, to leave everything I have and give my life to Jesus. And I decided that day that that's what I would do. One of my favorite verses where Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I came to Jesus. I was tired, I was weary, I was empty on the inside. And Jesus gave me a rest and a peace in my heart that I did not have. That was what I was looking for all those years, was a real relationship with the God that created me. And then the purpose in life was to share that with others. I like to tell you that God gave us a book. And in this book, God tells us how we should live our lives and what we should do. But for some reason, we want to figure it out on our own and do just what we want to do. And we think that if we were to actually surrender to Jesus and what he says here, then it's not going to work. But I would say just the opposite is true. If you really want to live a life that's worthwhile, that is satisfactory, that's free of guilt and free of shame and free of confusion, then you've got to just let go of everything you want to do and put your life completely in the hand of God and listen to him and obey him. And you will see a remarkable difference in yourself, in your family, in your kids, and in those around you. You will be a force for God that will affect many lives.